Welcome to Mint. I'm Prashant Nanda. In this edition of From the Newsroom, we have with us Surabhi Agarwal. Surabhi, welcome. We are here to discuss about a privacy law and how it is going to impact the public life and what are the key recommendations of a government-appointed committee. Surabhi, what are the key recommendations that the committee has recommended in the fresh report?
Right. So in February, Prashant, a committee was formed by the Planning Commission under Justice A.P. Shah to basically look at the contours of the privacy law in India and what are the international best practices, etc. Now, one of the key recommendations of the committee has been that they're saying that any kind of interception or surveillance which is happening in the country should be done after a court's permission has been granted. Currently, a state home secretary or a central Home Secretary authorizes for an interception. But from now on, if the recommendations of the committee are accepted, then a court's permission will have to be granted. But they're also saying that in case of an emergency situation, they can get an executive's permission and start the interception. But then sooner or later, which is after 15-20 days, they will have to go back to a court to seek permission. Now, this, according to me, could reduce some arbitrariness from the security agency's point of view. I'm also expecting some kind of resistance to the move to this kind of situation, because security agencies, some of the people that we spoke to today said that getting a judge to give an order poses a risk of a leak of such kind of sensitive information.
So this will create a kind of, you believe, executive and judiciary kind of friction again. So what exactly started the debate? And we all have seen in the last few years the political class opposing phone tapping, the business class opposing phone tapping. So how this recommendation, if implemented, are going to impact those things?
Right. So if I could go back a little, Prashant, this was actually conceived as a data protection law. After projects like UID, NADGRADE, DNA profiling bill, etc. came into being, there was a lot of noise about privacy of citizens, etc. So that is when the government decided to have a law on data protection, which is when if a government is collecting citizens' data, then what kind of processes it has in place to protect that data. But soon after the Neera Radia case happened and Mr. Ratan Tata Group's chief, filed a case in the Supreme Court, right? So that is when the ambit of this legislation was increased from being just a data protection law to also include subjects like lawful interception, surveillance, etc. So that was the current, that's the current mandate of the privacy law. So it was DOPT, which is the Department of Personnel and Training, which was supposed to draft the law, but then what happened was that there were serious interministerial sort of differences over whose jurisdiction is lawful interception, which act will cover what provisions, etc. So after which because there was no conclusion sort of a thing after the debate was going on, a panel was constituted under Justice A.P. Shah.
But somebody who have been tracking the subject quite well for quite some time, when do you expect this to come into force?
Justice Shah said that he has no intentions of creating a law sort of a thing. These are only guiding principles, and Ashwini Kumar said that these recommendations will now be forwarded to DOPT, which will again work on legislation. So hard to take a wild guess, but it's already taken almost 2 years to reach this stage. From we've seen the draft stage of the legislation to a stage where a panel is now being constituted. So hard to say when the final law will come out, but yeah, good start.
So it seems it's a long road.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Surabhi, so much for all your insight. That's what we have today from the newsroom. Stay tuned for more.